Hello everyone, and welcome to our Lawrence County Family Resource Google page, Lunch and Learn. I am Denise Taylor with my partner, Debbie Morris. We are both part-time district parent and family engagement coordinators as well as assistants in federal programs monitoring for Dr. Janelle Butler.
Hello everyone.
The Director of Federal Programs and Assessment. We're very thankful to you for taking the time during your lunch to join us to discover an easy but useful way you can support your child academically and spend valuable educational time with them. This resource is for all ages, from pre-K to seniors in high school. It's very easy to maneuver, and honestly, you'll probably be surprised at how much is here at the touch of a finger. If you have questions during the presentation, please type in the chat box, and Debbie will either respond in the chat or I can respond in the conversation online. And if you don't mind, we would love for you to type in hi right now so we know we have people listening. Also, this will be recorded, so it will be available for review from the LCBOE.net website. The Family Resource Google page was developed specifically for families and students of Lawrence County Schools, and is found by going to the district website, LCBOE.net, and clicking on Parent Resources, and then clicking on the big yellow box. Okay, so let's do that from here. If you look at Parent Resources, and here's the big yellow box. You can't miss it. First thing you see. And then if you want to click along with us, if you're on a desktop and want to click along with us, that's fine. If you're on your phone or not able to, that's fine too. You can just kind of listen and watch, and I'll guide you through it. But the resource is updated every year and has been available for about 5 years now. Getting the word out has been difficult, so we would appreciate you sharing what you learned today with other parents. Almost all documents are available in Spanish, and you'll see icons throughout this resource labeled Spanish version. So let's get started exploring all the wonderful resources on this Google page. First thing on the opening page, you see baskets. The main three are on the upper left. So you have a high school basket, a middle school basket, and then an elementary school. We've also connected some other specific resources for other areas as well. Because of time restraints, we won't explore all of these, but I will point out, some different ones that you do see here. This is a great way to get to your Infinite Campus. Notice you've got the gifted education resources, lunchroom information. Federal programs gets you to all those documents for federal programs. Let's look at pre-K, because there's a basket here for those of you who have some pre-K children. If you notice, it also is for birth to 3. There's a various things on here. But clicking on that pre-K, and we see, let's look at the Splash Learn. All right, now this is a great resource for the little ones, but it also goes up to 5th grade. Now, when you first click on this, it's going to have you to sign in. Notice that if I click here, see this pops up, but it is free. You just put in your email, set your password, and sign up, and then you can get in, with no problem. And you see here it's got games. If I click, that's what's popped up there. If I click, come on down here, I can click different letters of the alphabet that I want to focus on, for pre-K. When you go to 5th grade, you open up math, ELA, reading. So this is a really great resource that you might want to check out. Very kid-friendly. I did this, you can do that with my granddaughter, and she loved it. So, all right, so now we want to go back to our parent resource page. So I'm going to close this tab right up here at the top and go back to our resource page. And then if you look right here to the right, see there's a yellow house. That house will get you back to that basket page. So that's your home button. Okay, so we're going to click there. Now, next thing I want to point out, go to the bottom and you'll see the LCSS Family Game Wall. It's a rug. And so you click on the rug, and this takes you to literally a game wall. Okay, and all the things on here are games. One of the things that let's just look at one of these. Let's click here for the math games. All right, and then you see you've got all these fun little math games. This for with PBE, or is it PBS? Yeah, PBS. Like for example, let's just look at this one. This is really cute. Here's Elmo.
Sesame Street, backyard bug hunt.
Nothing like Elmo. And this is, has to do with math, and as it progresses, you're going to see it talk about sets and counting different numbers in different sets and that kind of thing. Just a fun little thing to do with your child, and they'll love it. I know for a fact they love it. All right, so let's go back. We're going to close that tab and come back, and let's look at a different grade level. Let's go to middle school. Here's one middle school math games. Now, one thing to be aware of is there's lots of ads on some of these, and you're tempted, like right now I'm tempted to click on one of these grade levels for my child, but if you'll scroll on down, you'll see the actual site, okay? So let's look at this very first one here, math games. I'm going to click there, and again, scroll past the ads. And here are some different middle school math games. If I keep scrolling down, see here's the different grade levels. All right, so I'm going to go down to 6th grade. And if you scroll down, you will see something called Tony Fractions Pizza Shop. And so if I click there, I open up a very cool fraction game that you can play with your middle schooler or 5th grader. I know 4th grade does this as well, though not quite to the extreme that this one is. I would suggest turning off the timer, because especially the first time, because you don't want to be worrying about time when you're trying to think through it and figure it out. It does have game directions here. I'm just going to show you real quick how this works. But you have a pizza, and you have an order. There's your order. All right, it says extra large, so you come over here, and this determines how many slices is in the pizza. So extra large has 12 slices. All right, so now if you look, you got 1/12 is cheese. So when you click on cheese and come over here and put 1 with cheese, it says 1/6 is mushrooms. Click on mushrooms, and if they just put 1, then you know there's an issue, because it is 1/6, which is not the same thing as 1/12. And so you would have a discussion about, okay, 1/6 for 12ths would be 2/12. So you would need to put 2 slices for the mushrooms. And that's how you can teach, and it's interactive, and who doesn't love playing with pizza? So so that's a great game that you might play. All right. So let's ease on back here. We're going to close this tab and go back to our parent resource page. All right, I'm going to come over here to let's see, home. All right, and now I do want to say this. I would suggest you go in ahead of time and find a game that you want to do with your child, so you don't waste too much time searching and then having your child get distracted before you even get to know, what they need help with, or whatever that you want to work with them on. Ads are everywhere and very eye-catching, and sometimes, if you click on that ad, then you really get off. So just if you do though, just close the tab and go back. Okay, I know that I'm saying this from experience. So now let's look at some other school-specific resources. We're going to go back. We come back to our home screen. Now let's look at the elementary school basket. Click there, and you'll see doors open up for the elementary schools. Okay. Now all of the specific school pages actually connect to the same resources, so you don't have to worry that one school's got different resources than your school does. But now, if we go in Southwest, you'll see they do have specific or unique focus skills. There they are right there. Unique compacts, the parent and family engagement plan located here, and the school improvement plan. So those are unique to Southwest, and your school would have they're your own unique ones. But this over here, the resources on the right, those are the same for every school, okay? So let's click on 4th grade, and this is the page we come to. And let's say my child is having trouble with writing, okay? So I click on writing, and then this pops up. And some of you might say, well, what does this have to do with writing? It's a read aloud. Well, there are writing activities there, and this is actually one of my favorites. So let's click here. And this opens up all these books that these famous people have read aloud, and it's been recorded, and they're really neat. So let's look at the Turkey Trouble. This one's just put up. It fits perfect for this time of year. And there is Mark Maron, and if we click play, now come right down here. You see this little box. You hit it.
Welcome to Storyline Online, brought to you by the SAG-AFTRA Foundation. I'm Mark Maron, and today I'm going to read Turkey Trouble, written by Wendy Silvano and illustrated by Lee Harper. Turkey was in trouble. Bad trouble. The kind of trouble where it's almost Thanksgiving and you're the main course.
So you actually see
but Turkey had an idea. And, what if he didn't look like a turkey? What if he looked like a horse? Surely Farmer Jake wouldn't need a horse for Thanksgiving. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a horse.
You can hit the escape button.
Almost.
Or you can, there's a little button right down at the bottom.
Moo, said cow. Stop horsing around, Turkey.
Okay, that's something for you to explore. I mean, look, there's Jennifer Garner, Maddie's Fridge, and there's Wanda Sykes. There's these famous people that are reading these stories. It's just really cool. And they do such a good job. And then right here, I want you to see this teacher's guide. So in the teacher's guide, if you go through and look at it, it's got all kinds of ideas that you can do with that book. Gives you a summary, but go on down here and you'll see it talks about the different standards. Now these are the Common Core standards, but a lot of them still align with our Lawrence County standards, the Georgia standards too. If you go on down, there are, let's see, I'm getting there. Maybe I skipped it. There's some writing activities in this. Let me find it. There it is right there. Okay, so this gives you, pretend you are a turkey. Explain why people should eat pizza instead of turkey for Thanksgiving dinner. And even if your child is not old enough to write yet, you can still have them talk about this. And other students, that are older, that might be something you could do together is write a story together. But that's going to help them and encourage them with their writing. There's even math things in here, and there's things that they can make that goes right along with the story. So I think that's a really good addition they've given with these books as well. Something fun you can do with them at home, and they would really enjoy it. Okay, so let's go back. I'm going to close out these tabs. And we're back to this page. Let me see where I am here. All right, so now let's look at, this is another resource, education.com. Click on that. I just wanted you to see this. This is another resource that is free. Notice math, English, science, social studies, foreign language. It goes all the way up to middle school. There's 8th grade. If you scroll down, you'll see there's all kinds of things here. There's games. Okay, so we click there, you can see games pop up. Now notice only one game popped up. Well, it only popped up because I've clicked on 3rd grade English language arts. So there's not a lot of games with English language arts, obviously. But if I change this to math, okay, and I've got games, you see there's a lot more math games, which makes sense for them to make math games. So that's something. And also I noticed they've also got these interactive worksheets. I would suggest doing interactive versus just a worksheet, because this is something that I just think they would be more into it, you would keep their attention better with games and interactive type things than if they're just having to do a worksheet. That's just a recommendation that's coming from me. So, all right, so let's go back to our parent resource page. And let's see, go back to our focus skills. We're going to click on this arrow right here. right down here in the bottom left. And now we're back to all of our focus skills, different resources that we've got here. All right, now I want you to notice these oval links down here. All right, and then this right here is Khan Academy. The reason these are down here and not listed is because they actually contain a lot of skills, whereas these are specifically to these skills. These contain it all. So let's look at 5th grade Khan Academy. I like Khan Academy. It's been around for a while. It's free. If there's a specific skill that your child is having trouble with, like, see, here's one on multiply fractions. You can click there, and it takes you to multiply fractions. And these little, when you see the little triangles here, that's your videos. So if you click on those, there's a video that comes up that actually teaches that particular skill. And you know, you've got it shows it, I mean, it explains it. It's great. So this would be a really good resource for you as a parent if your child comes home with homework and they're having trouble, and let's say they're doing multiplying fractions, and we don't know how to help them. Well, there's you some help right there. So so that's a good thing to use. Okay. All right. So let's close that and let's go back again. All right, and then in the bottom right corner, you will see Georgia Home Classroom. Okay, so I want you to click on that. It's amazing what's out there for help, but it's a matter of finding it. And what we've done is we found it for you. So now all you have to do is go in here and you just click on it. Okay, so let me kind of show you what's here. One of the feedback that we've gotten from parents over the years has consistently included help with understanding the new math standards. We're like, okay, math is not like it used to be. Actually, math is just the way it used to be. It's just that we're teaching it a little bit different way. But let's click on this triangle. We've got this. We want to go down to View Resources. Underneath, Make Mathematics Count. So scroll down. All right, there's mathematics support. So click there. Okay, and then scroll down again, and there's Make Mathematics Count. So if we click here, you can scroll down to your child's grade level. Okay, and this basically gives you an overall view of what your child will be having to do in math this year. This would be a great thing for you to look at the beginning of the year just to get an idea of what they're going to be doing. Okay, there's the video. We won't click on that right now, but let's go back. See the little back arrow in the upper left corner? Click that, and that'll take you back to this page, and then click it again. All right, now we're back to where we started from. Okay, now here are some mathematics model lessons. That's really good. For example, let's say that we have a 3rd grader who is having trouble with okay, here's one, having trouble with place value. Okay, so you can click there, and this teacher actually goes through and teaches a lesson on rounding to the nearest 10. Okay, so that's some help for you. All right, let's go back, the upper left corner. Okay, now this one I want to really highlight because we don't understand the standards. As a parent, we have trouble, okay, what does this standard mean? Well, notice this says these videos explore the standards. And in each video, educators break down the standard and explain how it's taught. So this could be a great help to you as well, okay? There's videos on that too. So I think you could get a lot from that also. So keeping in mind, I'm going back up here to the tab, and I'm clicking on Parent Resources. All right, so that was here where that triangle is, okay? So that's where that is. All right, so let's go back now to the original basket page. Do you remember how to do that? Click on that home button. All right, there we go. If nothing else, we're going to learn about that home button today. Okay, I do want to point out let's go to middle school. Okay, and then I want to point out this middle area here. If you look here, you'll see there's here's the EOG study guides. Here's transition middle school, transition to high school, and that right there's a testing area right there. In middle school, they do the MAP growth assessment. That's the formative assessment through the year. So that will just give you information on that. If you're just, if you hear them talk about the MAP test, that could give you some information there. All right, so you can see it is set up like the elementary. All right, so let's look. Let's look over here. Well, let's go back. Let's go back to. Let me go back home. Let's look at elementary, the East Lawrence Elementary. All right, here we go. All right, again, set up like the elementary. You've got the right side is the resources. You got the left side is the compacts, and there's your Spanish versions, your school improvement plan. Everything's set up very similar to the other. Okay. Now, one difference you see is middle school has science and social studies, whereas elementary doesn't have those. Okay. All right. So let's click on the home. All right, and let's look at the high school basket. All right, this takes you to East Lawrence High and West Lawrence High doors. All right, so now I'm going to go. I want you to see this part. For high school, this is a really important page. This little rectangle at the top, click on it. Okay, now this opens up all kinds of high school stuff that middle and elementary don't have to worry about. With high school parents need different information. Their students ready to enter college, technical school, the workforce. And so here we've got information on high school credits, dual enrollment. Look right here at these composition books. FAFSA, scholarship opportunities, governor's honors, and Georgia Futures. And if you click on any of these, like let's do Georgia Futures. It takes you straight to that web page. Notice it's Georgia Apply to College Month, okay? And you've got all these resources at the top here about HOPE and federal aid and all that good stuff, okay? So this is a valuable resource, and most parents do know about this just from the high school sending out information, but this is an easy way to get to it also, okay? All right, so I've gone back now to the parent resource page. I did want to point out to you, this is pretty important. Right here, you've got the different areas where students take the GMAS. If you go here, this takes you immediately to that Georgia site that is called Inspire. But right here is where they have all the Georgia milestone stuff. And if you notice, they've got it, the way you do this, like if I click here, it closes that folder. If I click here, it opens it. So notice that, so you can get to the different things you might want. Here's some formula and reference sheets for the different grade levels. See, there's the algebra one right there. So if I click there, it actually opens up the formula sheet that they'll need for Georgia milestones. That's just a good thing to know. It's there. I like how they're not keeping things hidden from us. They are being transparent and letting us see what we need to know when it comes to that. Okay, so let's see. So let's going back to the parent resource page. You can see other things here. If I want to go to a school page, I can look right here to do that. Let's go back to the East Lawrence school page. Okay, so again, you see the academic sources. All right, so we've got I want you to click on the left right here, English Language Arts. Okay, now a newly added resource, we just added it this year because we update on a regular basis, is under ELA, and I want you to, so we're going to word analysis right here, so click on that. Georgia DOE has recently changed our ELA standards, and this is a new resource that supports those new standards. So you see it's word analysis, and you'll see a GA-DOE document that has the expectations for the different grade level spans. Notice, as you scroll down, notice that every grade level has the same standard, okay, at the beginning. Deconstruct words, you see it all the way down. And when you get to 9th grade, it's deconstruct unknown words or phrases. And of course, it is more difficult, but all of it, they're deconstructing words. And then if you keep scrolling, then you start seeing these charts, prefixes, root words, suffixes. And so And that's what they need to know for the Georgia milestones, or those particular prefixes, root words, and suffixes. Okay? So, and also notice underneath those charts, there's this rectangle right here, color-coded. So these are your content vocabulary and disciplinary vocabulary from the Georgia Standards. So these are words they need to know. All right, so in mathematics, notice it's in that purple. So everywhere you see a purple word, that is a word they need to know whenever they're taking the mathematics GMAS. The blue words are vocabulary words they need to know when they're taking the science GMAS. All right, if we go on down here, let's look at high school down here. Here's 9th grade. Notice the complexity and the more difficult words, but these are the words they need to be aware of and need to know the meaning of when they take the Georgia milestones. So again, transparency by Georgia DOE, yay for that, because that helps us as parents to be able to help our children to be ready and to prepare for it. It never hurts to go back over it again, even, because our teachers do a great job, nothing taken away from them, but the more we can help, I think the better off our students are. Okay, so let's go back. So you see now there's more. I mean, there's so much. There's so much here. But let's just going back to the home page for the high school. Just hit the home button right here, and we'll just go back to it. I want you to know when Debbie was looking at this, one of the things that she noticed, and I honestly had not even taken time to really go through it, but she pointed out that the PTA parent guides, that basket, it's got all kinds of amazing stuff in there too. There's all kinds of fun and educational ideas for your family. And we really like, if you go to underneath the family resources, this Our Children's magazine, when you click there, there's this great free magazine. It's got articles on wellness, parenting, wellness, education, PTA, community. So let's click on wellness, and notice you got all these articles and giving you ideas, things you can do at home with your child, health things you can do, mental health things that you might do. This is just another great resource that you could go to. Okay, so going back to our page, I know this has been a lot, but you can't mess up by just clicking, because you can always hit that home button and go back to the baskets and start again. Any questions you have, please enter them in the chat box. We'll respond as soon as possible to you. And you can always email us. My email is Denise Taylor, DenisceTaylor @lcboe.net, or Debbie Morris, DebbieMorris @lcboe.net. Debbie is going to put those email addresses in the chat box for you. We love feedback, so if there's anything we can add or revise with this online resource, please let us know. We're constantly adding and changing and fixing, so please let us know. And we appreciate you joining us today as we share this rich resource with you. We hope this resource will help you to help your child academically and relationally as you spend time together exploring it. And we hope you have an absolutely beautifully blessed rest of your day. Thank you so much.